Rising Hope Mission Church in Alexandria, Virginia provides a number of services for the needy, from food to clothing to a place to sleep. For 4 months of winter, the church hosts a hypothermia shelter here. They close off this divider, and then within this space, they can fit 24 sleeping bags where people can spend the night. The shelter operates on a first-come, first-served basis. Pastor Carrie Kincannon says because they open their doors to everyone, some of the people happen to be undocumented.
We don't ask anybody anything like their immigration status because, quite frankly, that doesn't matter to God.
The shelter is open from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. While at about 6:45 a.m. on February 8th, Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents were waiting in unmarked cars across the street from the church to question a group of Hispanic men leaving the shelter. Oscar Ramirez was swept up in the group.
The first car came, put up against the wall. The other one came up and put behind the wall. It happened right there. And then they said stop right there. So we all stopped.
Ramirez told the agents he had a green card, but still, he says, they kept him for more than an hour. Surrounded against this wall, Ramirez says agents took the other men's fingerprints and questioned them even longer. At least 2 men were taken away, one a legal permanent resident with a misdemeanor conviction of driving while intoxicated.
He already went to jail. He paid his fine, and they still already they have resident card, because I know what the resident card is, so they took him anyway.
And they took them as they left a sensitive location, a church where ICE policy states enforcement actions should generally be avoided. ICE maintains its agents followed the sensitive location policy because they waited for the men to walk across this street off of church property before they arrested them.
Well, they may have been following the letter of the law or the letter of their policy, but I don't think they were following the spirit of that policy.
In this current political climate, the policy that churches are generally off limits to immigration enforcement has led to hundreds of churches joining the sanctuary movement. Reverend Noel Anderson of Church World Service says since the election of Donald Trump, the network of congregations offering sanctuary has jumped from 400 to more than 800 nationwide.
We have to be a wall. We have to protect, defend the communities that are part of our congregations, that are part of our communities, and we can't stand by and watch this happening without doing something.
While Rising Hope does not currently offer 24-hour sanctuary to immigrants, they do welcome them, along with all other members of the community, but fear the recent attention from ICE may keep some from seeking their services. In Alexandria, Virginia, Simone Del Rosario, RT.
Entire domestic flight detained, forced to show papers as ICE looked for non-existent immigrant. New York, RT. Travelers entering New York City after a cross-country flight were met by border agents who insisted everyone show them official identification. They were seeking to serve a deportation order on an illegal immigrant. On Wednesday, Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) alerted Customs and Border Protection (CBP) at John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York City that an undocumented immigrant was suspected to be arriving on Delta Flight 1583 from San Francisco. CBP officers were at the gate to check every deplaning passenger's ID until they identified the person ordered to be deported by an immigration judge. Officials say the suspect, who was convicted for domestic assault, driving while impaired, and violating an order of protection, was not found on the plane. In a Thursday statement from CBP, they said that the agency often receives requests from our law enforcement partners to assist in various ways, including identifying a person of interest. CBP will assist when able to. Jordan Wells, a staff attorney with the New York Civil Liberties Union, said that this is not an ordinary occurrence. They'll occasionally pull someone off of a flight, or officers will come on and make an arrest, Wells told The Independent. It's a much more surgical thing than setting up a dragnet. That's what is so alarming about the way that this played out. Matt O'Rourke, a passenger who was asked to show his ID, said that a flight attendant repeatedly told the plane full of passengers to have their identification. "I flew almost 200,000 miles last year," O'Rourke told the Gothamist. "I've never had my ID checked getting off a domestic flight." Another passenger on the flight, also named Matt, said that agents did not seem to be looking for anyone in particular. "There was an older couple behind me, probably in their 70s. They gave my ID and there's the same amount of scrutiny," Matt, who did not give his full name for fear of retribution, told the New York Daily News. "I want everyone to be safe, but I also want to protect everyone's civil liberties," he said. The search prompted two passengers to post pictures of the event on Twitter, which quickly went viral, with everyone from Chelsea Clinton to Edward Snowden retweeting the images. On Friday, a CBP spokesperson told Rolling Stone that the ID check was consensual and that officials did not compel anyone to show their ID. Read more. Incredible facial reenactment tech manipulates Bush, Putin, &Trump speeches. In real time, however, the CBP's search authority rules do not mention passengers traveling on domestic flights are subject to searches. CBP has the authority to collect passenger name record information on all travelers entering or leaving the United States, the CBP website says. Under the Trump administration, the Department of Homeland Security has issued new guidelines that empower customs agents to have full authority to arrest or apprehend an alien whom an immigration officer has probable cause to believe is in violation of the immigration laws. Two memos from DHS outlined new expedited removal rules in accordance with Trump's executive orders on immigration that would allow any illegal alien to be deported at any time.